Welcome back to the Missy podcast, the messiest podcast in the world. Would you do me a favor? If you've been listening or you're new here and you're giving it a try, would you give me a follow, a like, a share, a comment, some engagement, and some subscribership? That's my first ask. That's a big one. If you don't ask for what you want, you're never going to get it. So let's dive into the Missy podcast. Where are we? Do we even know where we are? Let's just say it straight right here. This podcast is not the major production studio quality highlight reel kind of podcast. This is real. This is raw. We show up. We show up as who we are with what we've been through, and we show up with a rebuild in our essence. This podcast is for the woman who quietly looks around her life and thinks, how did how did everything fall apart like this? How did everything fall apart like this? This is for the woman whose life got really messy, the woman who lost, and I use lost as like such a loose term here, but lost the marriage, lost the identity. How about lost the plan she thought she'd be living by now? How about that one? Does that one stick for you? That's kind of where I am. And this podcast, this specific episode of this podcast of the Missy World, welcome in if you're new here. If you're returning here, welcome back. We are kicking off, me, I'm kicking off a new series, something that is very, very near and dear to my heart. So if this already resonated with you, right? I lost the plan I thought I'd be living by now. Here's the part that nobody says out loud. When you lose everything in midlife, in our mid 40s, when you lose everything, there's this expectation of like a bounce back, like a rubber ball or a an elastic band or like a bounce back. People expect you to recover quietly. Oh, this is just so like, it's so real. It's so true. People expect you to recover quietly, right? To fix it, to move on. You're an adult. Own your mistakes. You know how to fix them. Put a patch over them. Move on. To make it not, well, I should rephrase this, to not make it uncomfortable for anyone else around you. I have lived this. I have lived this too many times to even want to talk about it, quite honestly. That's not how the rebuilding works. That's not how the rebuilding is in reality. So, this series, this podcast right here, right now, I'm talking to you over a cup of coffee. Okay. We're kicking off a new series and it's called I Lost Everything. I may have been too loud on the everything. And I accentuate the everything because it's different for every single person. Your everything is different than her everything, than my everything. This series is where we're going to tell the truth, the stories about what it really looks like when life gets messy. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Dot, dot, dot. And that's the important part. The dot, the dot, the dot. Three of them. You are going to decide what's after my I lost everything, dot, dot, dot statement. Because after that, you're going to decide to build and rebuild anyway. You're going to rebuild through it. You're not rebuilding when it's pretty. You're not rebuilding when it's all feels better. You're not rebuilding when you figured it all out. Right here, right now, right in the middle of it. That's the rebuild. Because the woman I help, she's not starting from ground zero, even though it feels like it. She's not starting from rock bottom, even though you're wondering, like, hey, I thought I hit that rock bottom and it's rock bottomed further out. So, did I hit rock bottom and am I waiting for more rock bottom? Like, where am I going here, universe? She's starting with experience. You're starting with wisdom. She's starting with a whole lot of truth that she has been carrying alone. You've been carrying it all alone. I get it. This woman that I help, she's in her mid 40s. She's rebuilding after devastation, after divorce, after loss, after health illnesses. Here's where I'm stuck. Is she rebuilding after it? Is there an after? You're rebuilding through it. This woman that I help is questioning everything. Everything, yet again, here's that word, who she is, what she wants. How is she gonna support herself, her kids? How is she gonna show up? Who is she? And underneath all of that, mm, underneath all of that, underneath all of those questions, she's still capable of building something powerful. Actually, not still. She is more than capable of building something more powerful than she ever would have thought of. And she doesn't need more inspiration. She doesn't need more, you know, woo woo. She just needs proof. So I hope you'll join me in as I kick off the I Lost Everything series. Because the series is going to take us through stories of real people who have come forward, who have staked their claim in I lost everything. And remember, everything is different for everyone. But there's proof in these stories. There's proof that not still. Why do I keep saying that word still? I don't like still. Still is like momentary. It's like sedentary, stillness. But stillness has a place. We can create, she can, whoever you are out there. I'm going back and forth with all my pronouns. First person, third person. I'm all over the place today. I want to own this episode because it's so important to me. It's important to me that you know that you're not alone. It's important for me to convey that you're going to build and create a life and an income that's yours. And maybe for the first time in your life ever, you're going to create and build a life. And it's in the everyday. That's what's so important. You're going to have a vision and you're going to have a mission and you're going to show up for that. But you're going to do it every single day. So I lost everything, dot, dot, dot. That's what this series is about. You're going to hear from people who have gone through people who have lost everything to fires, people who have lost everything to betrayals, people who have lost everything to undiagnosed illnesses and diagnosed illnesses and breakdowns. And these people, these stories, they chose to rebuild through it. It's not perfect, but it is intentional. And so if you're listening right now and your life feels like a mess, a disaster, and you want to call in the cleanup crew, right? You just want to like call in the cleanup crew. Let's fix all this really quickly. Let's move on. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way. But you're here for a reason. This fell into your lap. You found this. This is the message, the sign, the everything you might need right now. It's not the end of your story, it's the rebuild. And this series is truly about storytelling through the messes, not glossing over them. And I've been kind of on this journey of building through my own messes. And this series, I Lost Everything, has been something I've been wanting to tell for years. And not tell it because it's not a brag. It's it's a pivot point. This is your pivot point. You know, we've got this epidemic of loneliness and this world that we live in because we think we are the only ones who have been through such tragic losses in life. We're the only ones. And then you start to search for and not comparability, but you start to search for others out there to get tips, right? How do I get through this faster? There's no book, there's no life guide book because we're all unique. Every single one of us is different. That's what makes us special. That's why we were chosen to be here. So I don't want to get on any tangents, but I want to make this very relatable to you. So join me on the I Lost Everything series. This is the kickoff. There's going to be many, 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 many podcasts. I can't even count them. When I started, I thought I was the only one who had truly lost everything. And then I started to dive down under like the word everything, and everyone defines it differently. So for you, your everything, what is your everything? What did you lose? What do you consider your everything? And there's no right or wrong answer. And there's no like, oh, I get the oh, this one. I get the award for losing more. My comeback is more monumental because I lost more than you lost. That is not the competition we are having here. We're having the what did I build through it? How did I build through it? You know, it's like somebody once said to me, you find yourself at a table that you were invited to that you never wanted to be invited to. And that has really affected me in a great way, in a very reflective way of, okay, I'm sitting at this table of, I'm going to use my personal example. I'm sitting at this table of women who are in a support group for husbands that are serving time for white collar crimes. Okay. So I'm sitting around, it's a proverbial table, right? We weren't all in person. It's a support group. And I'm sitting around this table of women who are who have husbands who are serving time in federal prison for white collar crimes. I'm sorry, what? I didn't want to get invited to this table. I'm good. Why am I sitting at this table? Like it just it's like, wow. I find myself at a table that I never wanted an invitation to. Have you had one of those? What is it? I'm curious. I would love to hear your stories. And you're always invited to jump on a podcast as a guest with the Missy podcast. We are building beautiful businesses and we're building beautiful lives through our messes. This is the kickoff to an I Lost Everything series. And something really unique that I've built through my I Lost Everything. And this is real. This is raw. This is me building. This is messy Missy building through the messes. What I've built to coincide with, to kind of go hand in hand with this series, is a philanthropic effort. The Messy Missy movement. Do we have enough M's in this? The Messy Missy movement, because you can help. So, one of the ways that I have always gotten through the messes and in the rebuild is serving others, attaching to a philanthropic effort. I've done lots and lots and lots of work in community service, community outreach, in the doing of giving to people in need. And I'm not talking about money. I'm the person who is the doer. For example, when I was going through my divorce, and we shared custody 50-50, I didn't know what to do with my 50 time. And I used to refer to myself as like a part-time mom, and don't do that. You could feel that, and I want to honor your feelings around that. You're not a part-time mom. You are a full-time plus some mom. So what I did, one of the things I did was, of course, build a business and anchored on helping people through divorce around the business and selling gift boxes. But Another thing I did immediately was I signed up for Saturday morning Meals on Wheels delivery service. And it was every Saturday that I was free, that I didn't have the kids. I went to deliver Meals on Wheels to seniors for 4 hours. And so I served others and bringing them their food, seeing what, where they live and what conditions they live in and how seldom they get visitors. I mean, it was a whole experience. So that was one of the things I've done for serving. I've volunteered at food banks. I've done beach cleanups. I just like to use movement and service all together. And so I'm saying this because I have built the Messy Missy movement specifically for this series, and I'm kicking it off live right here, right now. Um, I know somebody who truly has lost everything from, I mean, the list is too long. The list of everything is too long. Retirement, career, savings, home, car, health, and now teeth. And health and teeth go kind of hand in hand. So this person has lost everything. I don't know how this person does it every day with inner strength to get up and persevere and keep going. Needless to say, the health was a cancer diagnosis, and diagnosed with cancer now has teeth falling out of the mouth. So this person's lost 4 or 5 teeth already. And if you know anything about dental work and your health and your, mouth stability, there's a lot of pain that comes with uneven jaw and when you're chewing. And so what are we doing? As the Messy Missy movement community, we are raising some funds. There's a GoFundMe link down below to help get some dental work done, completed. And the dental work is pretty it's extreme. It's new implant teeth, and I'm not quite sure what else, but I know that much. There's implants and there's also like jagged pieces and things. I've seen one of the teeth just fall out of the mouth at Easter. So if you're in an I lost everything season, or you're just curious, what have people been through who have lost everything? And how did they rebuild? And are you listening because it's more of a prevention for yourself? Can you make a plan B? God forbid something happens to you and your life, because it can. I had no idea. Now, this is way after divorce and after a rebuild from divorce. And then my life, rebuild life, fell apart. You There's just no preparation for that. But you can get through it. You will get through it. And there's a community of us out here, more than I thought, and I would have ever wished for any person. It just builds us. And there is purpose through the pain. It's not cliche. There is true purpose from the pain. Follow me. I'm in the rebuild right now. And I can reflect on the pain for sure. 3 years of pain. And then I can start to find the purpose. It's more of an exploration. It's not a here on a silver platter plopping down from the heavens. Here, Messy Missy, here's your purpose now because you went through all that pain. Doesn't work that way. I don't think so, but hey, I invite you. I am here for the dialogue. I am here for the real, raw stories, the truths, the lies. I'm here for it. Um, I want to have conversation and I want to keep growing, and that's what we're doing. So if you're so inclined and you can give anything that your heart desires to help somebody truly in need, truly who has lost everything, and can we can help find some new teeth and get them replaced, or whatever dental work needs to be done as this person journeys through the rebuild after the loss, and certainly in the middle of some pretty life-changing health diagnoses. So, thank you for listening to my PSA. You can build a beautiful life. You can build a beautiful business. You can do it all through your messes. And I don't want to be disheartening and say your messes aren't going to go away. You're always going to have messes. You're always going to have troubles in this world. There's always going to be something. What's next? I don't know. Let's go. Let's build. We're building beautiful businesses. We're building beautiful messes. No, we're not building beautiful. We're building beautiful businesses and lives through the messes. This is the Messy Missy podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this kickoff. It's my first ever kickoff to a series. We're here for it. What do you want to kick off in life? Only you can answer that. Again, because you are unique. There is nobody else like you. There may be similarities of things we've gone through together, and that's where we can build our community, right? That's where we can build this sense of filling in the gaps of loneliness. This series is about truth and it's about rebuilding. It's not just solely about trauma storytelling. So here we go. Let's do it. See you on the next Messy Missy podcast. I lost everything. ...